In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to import a design like this into your Bubble app. I'm not going to be showing how to do it using the automated import tool. There's another video we've got demonstrating that and talking about why I prefer to do it manually, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you now. For the sake of keeping this video brief, let's focus on copying one of these contact cards into Bubble. So here's my Bubble page. I'm just going to upgrade that to the responsive engine. And there we go. So what do I need? I'm going to be creating a card which has got a grey border and then content within it. So let's build it right in the middle of this page. So I'm going to add in a group. Align it to the middle, and let's have a look at the dimensions we're working with. So we've got a width of 265. I'm changing this to a column because I need that to lay out the rest of my items. 265 and then a height of 300. In fact, we'll put in a min height of 323 because we want it to be a little bit adaptive. Then let's have a look. If we go over to inspect, we can view some of the CSS properties, and part of doing this manual process of looking at the Figma design and bringing it over to Bubble is understanding where to look. So just by double clicking repeatedly, I can drill down to different elements, and often the one I find I'm looking for is labeled as background or BG. Here we go. This is the information I need. The border is solid 1 pixel. There's the color, and the radius is 12. So to put this onto this group, I remove the default style, roundness 12, border solid, and then okay, and there we go. Already looking good. Let's move that out of the way. Inside we're looking at 2 areas. We've got this bottom area and the top area. So let's create our top area first, and that's going to be in fact, it doesn't give a height because of how they've arranged it in here. The reason I'm doing 2 areas is because I want to fully replicate this bottom line. This is our top. We want it to be again a column, and width 100% to fully fill out that space, and let's add in that price tag, so we can just use some text, and it says $17, and by clicking in on it I can get the details. So there's my text color. Where's my font? Font is Lato, already set at that, but it is of weight 700, which is bold, size 14, there's a background to it. So if I go onto the background, there's the background color, and border radius is 8. And it needs to be centered, and also centered vertically in order to place it in the middle of the piece of text, but that's looking fairly close, and so let's just align that to the left hand side. And because I've got this second container, my primary one, my secondary one, I can apply some margins, some padding to it. So I can see here that it's 18, 16. So let's work with that. So padding from the top is 18, bottom 18, 16, 16. Brings it in from the edge. We've then got an image. And the image size is 66. and just so it stands out, we'll give it a back. Yeah, we'll give it a border just so it stands out, because I'm not actually going to upload an image right now. And it's got a border to it, let's not forget that. Border of 8. Okay, the border is going to look a little bit funny because of the dashed effect, so let's bring that down. There we go. And we align this into the middle. Okay, we've now got 2 text fields. So I'm going to make it 100% of the width. So it's 100% confined by the padding of its parent. And I'm doing that because I'm building with responsive design in mind. So we want to copy the color here. So it's Lato 716. And then center it, just write in name. There's a little bit of margin, so we can give this 18 on the top. Let's get rid of that min height. So we want to just be working cleanly with margins and paddings without kind of the min height and the width getting in the way. And then we have a sub menu, well no, not a sub menu, like a sub piece of text. So this is font weight 414 size. So let's put in that color. And get rid of that top margin. Probably going to be a little bit close to that one, so we'll just add in 2. We'll put in position. Okay. Okay, then we have got a progress bar. Let me check if I've got this already installed. No. So I can go into plugins. Let's get a progress bar. Use the default bubble one, that'll be fine. Okay, and so the progress bar is going to be made up of 2 colors. There's a background color, and we can see the border radius there. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the font color. Now, we don't actually want a font in there, so I'm just going to set this to 0, because you can see it gives the percentage, but we don't actually want that to copy the design. Border radius 3. We don't want a border either, and let's just get that green color, because that's what we want up here. And we'll put in a percentage just so that it's visible. The progress card didn't go in, that's why it's not picked up. What's going on there? There we go. And set the width to, fixed width of 100%, and then its height is just 4. It's very slim. Cool. Oh, there are some labels above that. So I'm going to create a group because I need to be able to put a row in here to show my labels. So my row, and then let's just make that a little bit bigger, and I'm going to copy this piece of text and reformat it for the label. So there's my color, it's 14 and it's 400. And so this time I don't want it to be 100% of the width, I want it to fit to the content. Get rid of the min width. So we'll say that's job progress. And then I'm going to copy and paste this into the same box because we want to be able to display our percentage value. So this time it is of 700. And then we go onto this row and we choose this option here in order to put the space in between the items. Let's add a little bit of margin onto the bottom of our progress bar. And let's check how that's looking. Cool. So we need some margin above the bar. There we go. So if I click in the item and then on Mac I'm holding Option, it tells me that there's a 27 pixel gap between those items here. So I'm going to add in a 27 pixel margin to the bottom. And then on here we need a gap below it, 34. So I select my, in fact we can use the padding here, so 34. Okay, brilliant. Now last bit, let's add in these effectively what are buttons at the bottom. And so how are we going to do that to make it look all neat and tidy? So this is why everything up here is in a group, because I want to add in the padding here. If I added padding to the parent, then I wouldn't still be able to hit the full width so easily here. So it's going to be a row and of 100. And I don't want it to fit the content height, but I do want to add a border to the top, which is here. That's my grey colour. Okay, you can see that. Oh, right. If we go into here, I think you'll see it clearer. So I've added the border to the whole of the group down here, and you can see that there's a slightly off-putting to the eye double bordered effect going round. So I actually need to set the border here to independent, just the top. Okay, that's fixed that. And then let's, just to save time, I'm going to put some text in there instead. So we can place in one of our text buttons here. So this time it is 900 and size 12. And here's the color. And we're just going to center it, remove the min height, and it's called email. And we will, that bit wasn't strictly necessary because we want it to be fit to width without a min width. There we go. Duplicate it. We have one called cool. And space them apart. Oh, no, actually we want equal spacing like that. There we go. Now there is one thing missing here, and I've already recorded for slightly longer than I planned to, but let's finish the job, which is that there is a border line down the middle. So let's have a go at approaching that. So rather than fit to content, if we uncheck both of those, yeah, it ends up being equal. And then if we set the height to 100%, yeah, there we go, we fill the space. And then we need to center it vertically. And then so we don't get that nasty double border, one workaround is to just apply it to one of the buttons. And I've made the same mistake again. I need to do it as independent borders. So this is just on the left. And then I'm just going to copy formatting and paste formatting. Okay, that's copied the border. That didn't mean to do that. I was hoping, it's still me getting to grips with the new responsive engine. I was hoping that it would copy the spacing and the height that I'd applied. So height needs to be 100%. Because one reason for ensuring that it fills the space is that if I wanted to make this into a button, I would like my user to be able to click anywhere in the shape that they see, as well as just the text in the middle. So let's preview that on the front end, and let's compare the two. And I think that is not bad for 15 minutes. We have copied this really quite attractive, engaging design of a contact card, and we've copied it into Bubble, demonstrating where you can find different elements, the colors, the font sizes, etc. in Figma, and where you plug that data into Bubble.